Well, hey, welcome back. Listen, we're going to take a ride today on Full Self-Driving, and we're going to talk about earnings day. So earnings are coming up here in a few hours. And there's just a couple of points I wanted to hit on before that happens. Now, everybody knows that the numbers are going to be enormous. Tesla, as you know, we just had, I'm sorry about the camera, I was kind of messing with it there. But anyway, everybody knows that we had an amazing third quarter. And that was, of course, mostly due to the tax credits, the $7,500 federal tax credit. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't care about the earnings from auto sales. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. There's a major reason why. Now, first of all, thanks for coming back. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share the video. Also, if you would like to buy a Tesla, there is a discount link in my comments. You can click on there and it'll get you up to $1,000 off the price of a Tesla, and also many other products that Tesla makes. And as well as that, there's a link in there for Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to give me a tip, click that link, buy me a cup of coffee. Anyway, let's get into this. So sales of all Tesla vehicles were enormous in the third quarter due to the tax credit. We know this. And I'd like to thank the media who hate Tesla, which is the mainstream media. So all they talked about for the last few months is the tax credit is going away, Tesla is going to go out of business, the tax credit is going to go away. After the tax credit ends, nobody is going to be able to buy Teslas, and they're done. Well, thank you very much. You encouraged an enormous amount of people to buy Teslas, and we really appreciate that. But we don't care about the revenue, not on this particular earnings call, because we know that numbers are going to drop automatically. The tax credit, $7,500 tax credit, definitely had an impact on sales. But I want you to remember something. Before the $7,500 tax credit, and before Elon Musk started getting involved in politics, demand for Tesla was rising very steadily. And then, of course, the tax credit came along, and that was definitely a catalyst. Elon Musk has said from day one he would much rather not have the tax credits, but he would also rather there not be tax credits for the fossil fuel industry either, which is extremely unfair. Billions of dollars are funding the fossil fuel industry for years. And all Elon Musk has ever asked for was a level playing field. Now, having said that, the brand damage really was caused by political activism on the part of Elon Musk. He got deeply involved in politics. He obviously pissed off a lot of people to the point to where they were burning Teslas. Well, now, fast forward, here's the reality. EV adoption is up worldwide. And by the way, the United States are the slowest, as usual, to adopt the technology. So be careful if you're an investor in Tesla, and if you're not paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the world, you're gonna lose out, because it would appear at times that Tesla sales are not fantastic in the United States, but that's not true of the rest of the world. Sales in China are enormous. Europe are embracing electric vehicles. Those people who didn't like Tesla and bought other brands are now sorry they did. And those people are coming back to Tesla. And keep in mind, the rest of the world didn't have the EV tax credit. So, consequently, I really don't care about the revenue coming from cars this quarter. I care about it overall, but that's only temporary also. Tell you what I'm looking at today. I want to see where earnings are coming from energy. and I want to see the earnings that are coming from full self-driving and robo-taxi revenue. Now, I know robo-taxi revenue is not going to be enormous. There's a very, very tiny fleet of vehicles out there, but I would like to delve into the numbers, specifically what the cost of the driver, the safety driver, or the monitor, or whatever you want to call that guy that's sitting in the, or girl that's sitting in the passenger seat, or that's sitting in the driver's seat while the robotaxi is operating autonomously. Because that is probably currently the highest cost in those vehicles. So even though the revenue will be a very small number, I want to see the actual, the detailed numbers in that revenue. What is the driver costing? That is going to dictate the future revenue in part of robotaxi. Now, full self-driving is available in Australia, and the Australians are going crazy for full self-driving. There's a gentleman in Australia named Ryan. He's on X. If I find his link, I'll actually put it in the description of the video. And Ryan has been making full self-driving videos, and his channel has exploded. I remember when we first found him, Omar and Sawyer Merritt and those guys, they found him first. And I think I think when I subscribed to his channel, he had maybe 4,000 or 5,000 followers. Well, he's blown up. He's got thousands, maybe over 100,000 now followers, if I'm not mistaken, on X. And everybody in Australia are going crazy because guess what? It's just like here in America. I put people into the car and they are absolutely shocked by full self-driving. I'm in full self-driving right now. And by the way, I'm still on 13.2.9. I do not have 14.1.3 yet. I'm expecting it very soon. But anyway, focus on that revenue. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about today is energy. Energy storage, battery storage, and grid backup battery systems are the future of the grid. We all know our grid, and the grid all around the world in most places is antiquated. The best way to back up that grid is by battery storage. So the Tesla Megapack is selling like hotcakes, and supposedly there's now a backlog in orders. So that revenue up until the last quarter, the second quarter, the revenue since last year has doubled. Now, I believe that the third quarter is going to show another skyrocketing in that revenue. So, I care more about those than the car sales. But I'll finish up this video with the car sales. You know, everybody wants to know what the cheaper model is, what the next model is. You're not going to find that out today. They're not going to announce new products on the earnings call. They're not going to talk much about anything. But honestly, if they did, and trust me, they're not going to, but if they did, if Elon Musk got on that call today and said, you know what, we're not going to sell any more cars. All we're going to do now is make cybercabs and robo-taxis, and we're just going to put them out into the fleet. Nobody's going to want to own cars because these are going to be so cheap that you won't even want to buy a car. And then by that time, Tesla will make all their revenue from robotaxi and autonomous vehicles and licensing that technology to everybody else around the world. That's not going to happen today either. But I'm just telling you that the future for Tesla has nothing to do with selling cars. Now, the elephant in the room is the Optimus robot. I don't know what they're going to say about the Optimus robot. I had proposed a question. You know, as investors, we're allowed to ask questions on the call. My question has never been answered, and it probably never will be. That's okay. There are some great questions actually in this current earnings call, so I'd like you to pay attention to those questions. But the question I had was very simple. How many Optimus robots do you expect to be working in the factories by the end of the first quarter in 2026? Now, Elon had promised, and of course we all know Elon time, he had promised that they might have 500 or 1,000 robots working in the factory by this December, by the end of December, in other words, by Christmas. I don't think that's happening, but a stretch would be to give me that number for the first quarter of 2026. And you know, if it's not 500 or 1,000, I wouldn't care. But if it was 100 or 200 or 300, that would be pretty phenomenal. And if they would release video of those working robots, that would be phenomenal also. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the earnings call. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Again, like, subscribe, share, and have a great day.